What is going on, people inside that internet machine? Welcome to this episode of The Pickups. We went to garage sales, and garage sales were good. All right, that's creepy AF, so let's just go. All right, hope everyone's having an awesome garage sale season so far. We're about 3 weeks into it here in beautiful, sunny, or rainy, or windy, or warm, or cold, or snowing Ohio. It's really that time of year. But anyway, all right. Yeah, it was crazy. I went garage sales all day today. There's a 30 home community sale tomorrow right down the road. So it's like 11:30, 11:40 at night. I'm going to film all the stuff that I got last night, eat something real quick, go to bed, and then I've got my alarm set for like 7:30 in the morning. I want to be out of here by 8:30. It's like 5-10 minutes away. It's up the road. Get there about 15-20 minutes early and wait for garage doors to start popping open. So when I've been to that community before, all the houses are like really nice together and everything's like, here's a street, go down a street, turn down this street. It's like, it's very grid-like, if that makes sense. So I've got a backpack ready. So I'm just going to park and I'm just going to start walking. Hopefully we get some good stuff. Anyway, lady I work with, very nice. She's one of the third shift dispatchers. She's like, hey, we have this bag of DS games and Game Boy Advance games. Do you want them? I'm like, yeah, sure. She's like, we don't have the systems anymore. So she brings them in. I know she's got like one child, a daughter. And this bag of like dogs, Game Boy Advance games. I'll put a picture of it right here. So I'm like, okay, cool. Game Boy Advance. I'll just throw these right into the collection. Nothing crazy here. But I started looking at them. I'm like, these are not real. These are who's out there counterfeiting Nintendo dog games on the Game Boy Advance? So, but they do, what kind of threw me off a little bit is they do have that tri-wing screw in the back. So I'm going to take all of those screws and then I'll probably just throw the rest of those away. And then there was a, small bag of DS games. Again, nothing really crazy. There's Dodge Racing, Enchanted, iCarly, Pets Nursery. All of the good stuff. But anyway, that was nice of her to think of me. Some of those will go in the collection, and it's always got some use. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll just keep them and give them to pass them to some kid. We got some, not like, sell them to some kid. Like, here you go, kid. Authentic Nintendo dogs games. $10 each. No, but, some kid that plays Game Boy Advance or something, you can just have them. Maybe I'll take them to a video game convention and just give them away. I got some gifts, man. The community is very good to me, and I got a lot of great friends. But I mentioned this on my live stream. I got this Outrun on Sega Master System last episode. It was missing the manual, and RetroHeck was kind enough to send me that manual. So thank you so much, RetroHeck. And I'll owe him a little bonus when it comes to the trade show. Surf Blue sent me a package, which was really cool of him. I didn't even know it was coming. His name was on it. And, because you have to be able to decipher ancient hieroglyphs to read his writing. I didn't know who it was from until it said it was from, the city and state that he's from. And then I messaged him. I'm like, do you send me a package? He's like, yeah. But he knows I'm trying to beef up my Blu-rays this year. So Pete's Dragon, which I have never seen, from the studio that brought you the Jungle Book. So thank you, sir. I will add that proudly to my collection. And then he sent me a copy of Dragon's Dogma. It's a Capcom game. Professional packer right there. That's how you know. But yeah, so, Capcom, what are they known for? Platformers. Maybe you guys know them for some shoot 'em ups, 1941, 1942, that kind of thing. This is like a real-time action RPG type game. So this is a little genre defining for Capcom. And I love games like that. Square. What's Square known for? All those great RPGs. That's why I love Einhander so much. It's their one shooter. So yeah, anyway, Dragon's Dogma. Look forward to giving that a try. Backlog is building up. And then a game that I think I actually have, but I'm missing the manual, is Lair. So Surf Blue sent me a complete copy. I will throw this in my collection, and I will grab the one without the manual, out of the collection, and I will throw it in the doubles box, which is awesome. And then my boy Tyler. Tyler always finds good stuff like this, man. This is if you know what this is, you're old as shit like me. This is a red buffet style cup. You know, used to have these at like Pizza Hut. But yeah, so it says Coca-Cola on it, and then it's got the Cincinnati Reds logo. I'm a big Reds fan. Love my Cincinnati Redlegs. So yeah, and then he brought over a copy of Forza Horizon 4. Now, I played through Forza Horizon 3 this year. Absolutely loved it. I gave it an A+. So far, it's my top game of the year. I love the freedom in this game. And I love in like Need for Speed, it's all about getting away from the cops and grinding on these scores to do these maneuvers and jumps and escapes and all this stuff. In Horizon, at least in Horizon 3, it's much more of a casual experience. It's about like world building more than it is about, you know, eluding the cops. So everybody that sent me stuff or gave me stuff, thank you so much. It's much appreciated. All right, just have a couple non-garage sale pickups, and then with the garage sale pickups, I'm very excited for. But obviously got some clothes. Mother's Day weekend, it was half off of everything at Goodwill. 2 St. Vincent de Paul's, you know, every week there's a color tag that's 99 cents, one that's 50% off, one that's 25% off. I don't know why I got this. And Anna Wakoti, some kind of chat pad. It was only 99 cents, but it does work. I just need to find a USB cable for it. I got this at the Goodwill. It's $2. Beatles Rock Band. It doesn't sell as much as it used to sell for, but it does have the insert, and it's in very nice condition. So I think I just still get like $7-8 for that. And then I thought this game would be a little bit more valuable when I got it. I paid $5 for it. It is Glory of Hercules, some type of RPG on the DS, and we're kind of getting to that breaking point where I feel that Nintendo DS games are about to fly through the roof, especially like the shoot 'em ups, the RPGs, the horror type games, the complete in-box good stuff. You know, it's that time for that stuff to jump up in prices. Garage sale stuff. Woo! I always feel when I go to garage sales that the first garage sale of the day, if you find something at the first garage sale of the day, that might be setting up your whole day. So if you find something at the first garage sale, you should like really get excited because man, because that way you don't know you're not getting skunked for the day. You know, you got something. Go to this garage sale, this lady, and I'm looking at her, and it's like I recognize her, but I don't know where from. She's a little older lady, and some guy walks up to the sale, and she was talking about how she has a booth at the antique store, at the antique mall thing. And I'm like, yes, that's where I know her from. So she's clearing out all of her inventory from the antique mall. And it's like, this is something that I've started to see in the last couple years, because those things went from like, oh, it's $50 a month to now they're like $175 a month for a booth at one of these flea markets. And it's like the first $175 you sell goes to your booth fees, you know, and then whatever you're paying after that, 10%, 15%, 20%, I don't know. So it's just not a viable option anymore to operate in these antique stores. And I get it. The owner of the antique store then has to pay all the overhead, you know, the lights, the electricity, the heating, cooling, the property tax, all that stuff. But man, that's one of those things that maybe in 20, 30 years, we're going to look back on and we're going to go, man, you know, there used to be arcades. There used to be antique malls. You know what I mean? Just not something that's around anymore. But anyway, so I walk up and I see this pile of dog shit Xbox 360 games. And I said, how much are your Xbox 360 games? And I'm expecting her to say like $1, because that's what most people say. She's like 25 cents. For 25 cents, I'm going to grab all of these games because the cases are going to be worth 25 cents. But, you know, we've got some of the Kinect games, not hot sellers. NBA 2K17. This is still about an $8 game, $9 game, so that might be good. And then, you know, we got FIFA, the Madden collection. You know, gotta have a Madden collection. So anyway, $2.50 I go up to pay. She's like, just give me $2. So we paid $2 for 10 games, so 20 cents a game. I think that's worth it for the cases. That's just me. All right, pick this up. $1 makes you holler. MX versus ATV all out on the Xbox One. $1 at the old garage sale. What's funny is, and Tyler will know who I'm talking about, Brian from Buckeye Games and Flea Market. He's the owner and proprietor. And another guy that owns a booth there. They do garage sales, man, and they fly to these garage sales. It's like they hit it, boom, strip it for everything, throw it in the back of their SUV, next sale, right? And then they take it and resell it at the flea market. But I got him on this one. I was underneath a pile of clothes that had like tipped over, and I could see the green, and I went, ooh, is that an Xbox game? And I pulled it out I rescued it. I rescued this game from underneath that pile of clothing at the garage sale and happily paid $1 for it. All right, so okay, so here we go. I'm gonna give you guys a little pro tip. It has been hard to find video games at garage sales the last, I don't know, like 10 years or whatever. And there's some reasons for that, you know. People are a little bit wiser. They sell them on eBay, or they know what their value is when they take them into a retail store. The online marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Let Go, those kind of places, you know, those kind of flourish nowadays. You know, it's easier just to list something on there and not take a loss or pay fees on it. There are a lot of resellers out there, a lot of collectors, a lot more people collecting these games, not necessarily the resellers. But, you know, so it's just a little bit harder. There's a little bit more competition out there for us in terms of people being out there and options for people to get rid of their games. 15 years ago, when I started this in like 2009, 2010, it wasn't really like that. You know, GameStop didn't take retro. So, you know, it was not uncommon to find a box of PS2 stuff or Nintendo stuff or Super Nintendo stuff on Marketplace, you know. But I tell you, a place where I get a lot of really good stuff is like condo sales, old folk home community sales, you know, where there's a community of elderly people and they do their once a year garage sale. And the reason so much isn't that they have video games, but when grandma and grandpa are having a yard sale, you know, stuff ends up at their house. So why don't you guys just sell this at your garage sale and we'll, you know, use it for barbecues or whatever. And, you know, family members just drop stuff off. So there's this weird correlation. I don't know what the study is on this, but, you know, a lot of these people that are like in their 70s, 15 years ago, they bought Wiis, you know. It's a great console to do activities, to get up, move around, get the blood flow and all of that stuff. And now they're starting to get rid of those consoles. So they're usually in really, really good condition, but they don't really have like the depth of games. You're not finding like Resident Evil at grandma's house. You know what I mean? You're going to get your Marios, your Wii Sports, that kind of stuff. So when I see those, it's like bing, because I always find good stuff there. I was like, years ago, I went to one of these sales, and first sale, walked right in, and she had a Super Nintendo and like Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Country, you know, all that stuff. I said, how much you want for your Super Nintendo stuff? And she said, well, we're asking $25 for it. And I was like, here, I'll just give you like 30 or whatever. And she was like, my husband said that would never sell. And I'm like, now you get to tell him you made a little extra money, and it was the first thing that sold. So, you know, because women like to be able to tell men where to go, who's who, what's what. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, community sales, condo sales where there's an elderly population. I kind of see that as a better opportunity than hitting like the community sale with kids' toys and all that stuff. Because those people, they know, you know what I mean? Like, and they care. So I go to this sale, and she has a Wii, a really good condition, but she wants $40 for it, and I'm not really interested in buying another Wii. You know what I mean? I'm sure it works flawlessly. But I grabbed these two games out of the box, and I said, you know, how much do you want for... Well, first I said, would you be willing to sell some of the games separate? I don't really need a console or the other games, but I will buy these games. And she looks at me, and she goes, if I have to break up the lot, I'm going to have to charge you more for the games. I said, no problem. I'll be more than willing to pay up a little bit. What do you want for Wii Sports with the manual? Boom. Let's get this show moving a little bit. And Wii Sports. She goes, listen, $5 a game is the best I can do. no problem. I would be more than happy to give you $5 a game. So yeah, Wii Sports Resort, $5 each, you know, so I was about to get physical there. I mean, how embarrassing would that be for me to get my ass kicked by a 70-year-old woman? I mean, it's not like it hasn't happened before, but it'd be tremendously embarrassing again. You know what I mean? So then it was bizarre. These two garages were like in proximity to each other because it's a condominium area, so they're all like pressed together real close. And so I go back to my car and I drop that stuff off and I walk into the next sale. And I see a stack of PlayStation 4 games. And I say, how much are your PlayStation 4 games? And she turns around and she goes, oh, that her daughter brought it. I forget what her name was. Lena. Let's call her Lena. Lena brought that. I don't remember what she said that she wanted on it. But we have a backpack of Game Boy stuff. And I went, what? So she walks over. I know, right? Like, I'm like, what? I'm asking you about PlayStation 4 stuff. You said Game Boy. Are you confused, or is there something more here that... So she comes over with this Adidas backpack, right? And she goes, well, everything's in this backpack. Let me call her. And I'm like, what? So I start opening it up, and it was just cords and the controller for the PlayStation 4. And guys, I had an energy drink. I had a C4 energy drink. And I put it on she had like a shelving unit. So I put it on the shelving unit while I was looking through this backpack. Completely forgot it. Drove away. Got about 10 minutes down the road. I'm like, where's my energy drink? It was like I left it at this lady's garage sale. But this is one of those crappy Treos controllers, you know, with the buttons on the back. And I'm sure this is probably fine for like PC or emulation or Steam Deck or something. But when you pair it with a PS4, it's like, oh, the controller is not an official Sony controller. Some of the functions may not work properly, and it doesn't. But so she called this woman, Lena, and she said they wanted $50 for the PlayStation 4 and games, and she said that it worked, and she was right. I got it home, tested it. It's a 500 gigabyte PlayStation 4, pretty good condition. You can see it's got a little wear, a little scuffage right there, but other than that, fired right up, worked great. Power cord, AV cable. I'm sorry, HDMI cable. I had this controller, which I'm just going to take up to Maxine's Bargain Box and trade it in, maybe get like $5 for it or something. And then I paired it with an official Sony controller and a Sony charging cable, but I know that's a long way to go to say I paid $50 for a PS4. These are the games I'm going to bundle with it. I've already relisted this for like $130. But FIFA 15, NBA 2K15 with Pharrell Williams. I don't play NBA. Destiny, Batman Arkham Knight, and Call of Duty Black Ops 3. So I'll get that bundled and sold for, like I said, I put $130 on it. So, you know, if someone offered me like $120 or something, I'd take it. 2 games I'm going to sell. We got Minecraft PS4 edition. This still goes for about $15 or so. So I will get that cleaned up and listed. And then this is pretty cool. Star Wars Battlefront, no big deal here. This is the exclusive Star Wars trading disc inside by Topps, only at Walmart. And then, you know, it's got the game and this little manual in here. And inside the manual is the little trading disc or whatever that is by Topps. And it is a Stormtrooper of some kind. But anyway, that was nice to have that in there. It doesn't really look like this sells for a ton. It's, you know, $8 or so, but you know, it's an extra 20-something dollars in games. All right, so the last thing I got today, listen, you gotta, if you sell, you resell, you know, on eBay, Amazon, whatnot, Letgo, all those places, Poshmark, you gotta find something to do with your dead inventory, okay? You gotta know what you're going to do with it. We've got stores here in Newark where, you know, they take certain things. Maxine's Bargain Box takes video games, collectibles, records, Lego sets, gaming cards, you know, video games, anything that's like collectible, they will take it, except for Beanie Babies, cassette tapes, and they don't do CDs. And every year I clean out a certain section of my eBay business. So like last week, a couple weeks ago, by the time you're seeing this, I cleaned out my media stuff. About 2 or 3 months before that, I cleaned out my clothing stuff or my toy stuff. So about every 3 months, I'm cleaning out like one section. That way I clean out everything at least once a year. Anyway, you guys don't really need, that's not exciting. But I took the media stuff up to Maxine's Bargain Box, and typically they will give you, media trade if you're trading in media, and that's to stop people from bringing in boxes of DVDs and then taking all the good Nintendo games. You know what I mean? But they have a new policy, and that policy is that they will take media for media, but if it's really good, like high-end stuff or stuff that they kind of know will sell fast, like anime stuff, they will give you general in-store credit for it. So they gave me $20 of media credit, which I used to buy some Marvel DVDs that I'm missing out of, or Marvel Blu-rays that I'm missing out of my collection, which was really cool. And then they gave me $20 of general in-store credit for 2 anime collections. It was Fairy Tail episodes whatever to whatever, and Fairy Tail episodes whatever to whatever. And they're like, anime is going to sell quick, so they gave me $20 of general in-store credit. Now, mind you, I paid $2 a piece for each. So I got $4 into that, and I got $20 trade credit, so I'm still up, But they had this in their collector's counter, and I knew I had to have it. It is Gradius Galaxies on the Game Boy Advance. Can't wait to play this. I'm not a super big Gradius fan, but I do love shmups. I do love spaceship shooters, STGs, baby. I love them, love them, love them. This was $30, so it was $10 out of pocket. It's done in that 16-bit style that everybody likes, the great music, the beautiful graphics, the parallax scrolling, beautiful sprite work. And it takes place in between Gradius 3 and Gradius Gaiden, so it is kind of in the timeline. But yeah, I can't wait to play that. Right now, I'm like halfway through Grabbed by the Ghoulies. I got Ocarina of Time loaded up because I feel like I have to beat that game before I die at some point. And then we've got Gradius Galaxies on the docket. So can't wait to start playing games again, but it's garage sale season, so my Fridays and Saturdays are pretty much full. All right, so let's wrap this up, put a bow on it. You saw the very exciting live garage sale footage from last week's 30 home community sale. Now, it's kind of hard to explain. Actually, it's not. Their community set, it's like very grid-like. It's almost like an H, with some streets. So it's very easy to park and then just kind of walk, right? Which is kind of what I did. I got there about 15 minutes early, and garages were already open. People were putting stuff out. I hit about 18 of the 30 sales. I hit all of the sales that were open. I don't know if everybody else was opening later or decided not to participate or said they were going to participate and then lied. I don't know. But I only went to one sale where I actually got stuff. It was like all baby clothes or baby toys, and then like the older crowd that's trying to get rid of their Coke bottles and, Pepsi crates and all that stuff. But one guy said he was getting out of reselling and just wanted to liquidate his stuff. He had DVDs and Blu-rays and sports cards and, little NASCAR collectibles, stuff like that. So I asked him how much he wanted on his DVDs and games. He said $1 a piece. So I grabbed Halloween 2 on DVD. I thought that would be a little bit more valuable. It's not. Resident Evil Trilogy, that's going right up on the eBay store. And then this one was going right into the collection right here, buddy. 20th Anniversary Edition, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I think I have this on everything except VHS. And it's because I haven't found a mint copy on VHS. But Get some Xbox One games. I left 2 or 3 sports games behind, but for $1, I probably should have grabbed them. Got Battlefield 1. I'm going to get rid of that. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now, I don't know what the difference is. I think this one has like zombies or something because it says Nuketown bonus map included. I don't know. If you guys know what the difference is between these 2 Call of Duty Black Ops 3s, please let me know in the comment section down below. I don't know. I'm not keeping them. I don't really play Call of Duties. Halo 5. Yeah, I don't know. I've never played a Halo. Everybody kind of likes Halo. So I don't know if I'm going to keep that or not for $1. Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Interestingly enough about this, it's complete, right? It's got all the stuff and the stickers. But I don't know if I've ever seen this Gears of War Ultimate Edition like this without being in the Rare Replay thing. You know what I mean? You know how they bundled it together? Gears of War 4. Again, I'm not going to keep any of these games. That one's got the sticker. It's got a gun in it. That's awesome. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's got the insert. So, yeah, I'll probably get rid of that one. This is the only one I've been thinking about keeping. But quite honestly, I don't play first-person shooters. They give me like weird tracking vertigo almost issues. This one includes the Demon multiplayer pack, Bethesda. So, yeah, Doom. I don't know. $1 a piece. I can't really complain. So those are the Xbox One games that we got at the community sale. That's going to do it. How's your garage sale season started? Mine started off really, really good last week, and that Saturday was amazing. So anyway, let me know what you guys have been picking up at your garage sales. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share on social media. Don't forget to bang that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of your CM Retro gaming goodness. Guys, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on the next one.